Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. Special guest in the building, Mr. Mike Murphy, the owner of Last Stand Hats.
Hi guys.
What's up, man? How you
You
doing?
know, just living the dream. I'm glad to step away from the grind of a business to hang out with my guy, Fanatic Perspective. Been following you for years. Finally, we were able to strike a deal. Got to meet you in person last year. Got to let you meet the family. My wife was like, "Why can't you be more like him?" I'm like, "Give me a break. I'm trying." Excited to be here, buddy.
Excited to be here, brother. I'm excited to have you here. So, co-host also of the Horn Report, featuring former Texas Longhorn JP Urquidez, as well as my good friend the Lando Show. So I'll have the link below to check those guys out. And you know, just so much great UT content out here. But as y'all see there, our business here, laststandhats.com/fanatic perspective. Hit that promo code Fanatic10. You get 10% off at checkout on all, you know, your purchases. So we got our hats here, polos, the whole bit, Mike, the whole bit, man.
We've got a little bit of stuff. We're lucky to have, I mean, you were buying our hats before we even did this, which was cool. And that's awesome. We've got other stuff too. If you're a Texas State person or anybody else, you like other schools, we've got other schools too. Or maybe you just like Bisons, right? We got that too. But it's really, I have to say this. I have to thank you, because without people like you, we're not a business, right? We're not a company. And, we're very appreciative of the Last Stand family, we call it, anyone who buys a piece of product and joins the family, whether they know they're buying it from us or not, you're buying it somewhere else, say like the airport or another store, you're still part of the Last Stand family, right? So again, thank you so much for being a part of the family, my guy.
Absolutely. And you guys tapping in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe. It's free to show love. If you're part of the Last Stand Hat family, tap in below. We'd love to see you. Tap in. Also, for my betting family out there, I want to give a shout out to our other sponsor, BUSR. BUSR.com/fanatic. Hit that promo code sports100FP, 100% free play match on all initial deposits within the first 24 hours, up to $1,000. Texas this weekend, -17 against Iowa State. If you're feeling Gucci about it, tap in on BUSR. Over under 49. Over under 49. I know Iowa State's been holding people. So, hey, Texas last week, we hit 49. We were under that 65 because OU didn't show up, which was our fault. But,
yeah, totally our fault, guys. Sorry.
Totally our fault.
Our bad. Our bad.
That's on us. But, Mike, I want to talk to you about this, and I'm going to let you roll with this for a second, man. First off, what were your expectations coming into the season? Because we are now dead ass halfway point, right? We're 4-2. We've been 4-2 like the last 4 years at this point. Does this align with your expectations coming into the season? Do you think we're on track to where you thought we would go? And is this 4-2 different from the 4-2s of years past?
So I am going to just lead off with saying I'm a positive thing. I'm a dreamer, as my wife would say, right? I look at always what can be and how do we get there and manifestation and let's put this into the world and this and that. My expectation was 8-4 coming into the year. That's what I expected. I was like, you know what? Quinn's done some really good handoffs up there at Ohio State. He's got to sit under Ryan Day. He's learned a different, he's been in college for a year, right? A lot of people were kind of like, freshman. I was talking to some people of my friends that are in the radio business. He's like, well, he's a freshman. I'm like, no, his expectation is Colt McCoy, his redshirt freshman year. That's it. That's where I was putting him at. Because, I mean, he's a redshirt freshman. He got a full year under Ryan Day. It wasn't a high school coach, that was trying to, some math teacher trying to teach him how to spin the ball. He was there every day for a year at Ohio State. You cannot forget that. So I was thinking, man,
that quarterback room over there is elite. He was in.
Yeah, man. Let's be honest. Ohio State's probably pretty upset that they let him get away now that they're seeing what he could have done. And, you know, I don't hate it for us. I'm sorry, guys.
Sure.
OH, yeah, no IO for you. So with that, it's like you're 8-4. I thought the defense would be better compared to last year. Obviously, from what I had heard, some bad seeds had left the program, whether graduating or not, or transferring. So, you know, they brought in a ton of new talent. I mean, you got to see the spring game where you got to see Naor, like what the potential he could have had before he got hurt. People still sleep on Troy O'Meara, by the way. Give the kid an opportunity. That guy he's going to prove you as long as he sticks around and puts it in. So expectations coming in, and then year 2 of Sark. Everybody that is the fan base, and we'll talk about this once we get to, I think, you know, whatever else, like how we feel, like where we're at later on in this little chat. But the expectation was, oh man, he better step up now. This is, you know, University of Texas fan base and alumni. You are not, I'm obviously here, are not the Texas of the 2000s. And I'm not sure. I know the blue blood mentality is we're Texas and we deserve to be here. I hate to break it to you, but you're not, right? You've had 3 coaches between Charlie Strong, Tom Herman, and now Sark. 8, as much as you want to call it. You've been rebuilding. You've been trying to find the guy. And I kept saying, under Sark, he's got his coaches. He's got Banks. He's got, you know, Coach K. He's got Jeff Choate. He's got Kyle Flood. You've got the expectation is, dude, his one recruit he brought in his first year when he just signed was Xavier Worthy. And if that didn't show you promise, I don't know what it was. The second year, he had a top 5 recruiting class, and he got Quinn Ewers to come to Texas. Guys, he wasn't just going to come to Texas. He was looking at other programs. It's not like he just said Texas is it. So the expectation is I'm right where we're at. Now, to your second point, 4-2, does it seem different this year? Absolutely. 100% it does. And if you don't see that, and if you're like, oh, I'm just waiting to jump off this cliff because it's going to happen again, I've been the history of Texas. No, open your eyes, people. Open your eyes. And I'm not saying this as an owner of a company that wants you to buy this stuff. I'm telling you as a fan, open your eyes and see what you have in front of you and live in the moment. Live in the moment. Don't look for, oh, what's going to happen down here? We got to do this. Or, oh, we lost to Alabama and Texas Tech. You can't lose to Texas Tech. People, we have lost. The University of Texas lost 2 games by a total of 4 points. 4 points. They're not getting blown out. They're not getting just curb stomped like they curb stomped Oklahoma. Look at what you have. You have Quinn Ewers. CJ Vogel, I think it is, a guy on Twitter, made a comment after Texas Tech lost, and he may have been a little sauced up, but said, if you are one of the people saying, if you had Quinn Ewers in this game and we would have won with Quinn Ewers, you're a loser. No, bro. We're not losers. We're factual people. We have eyes. If Quinn Ewers is in the game against Alabama, the way he's shredding them up, we don't lose. You don't lose to Texas Tech with Quinn Ewers either. Why? Because he's probably putting up more points. He's probably getting the ball out a little bit quicker. And I love Hudson Card. Everybody in this program should, and outside watching, needs to send a happy tweet to Card and say thank you. He
held us down.
Look at Alabama with Milroe. Dude, turn it over for it. By the way, Milroe was going to come. He was committed to Texas. Let's not forget that. And he decided he was going to go to Alabama. Why? Because Quinn Ewers is committed. So then when we lost both, we're like, oh, no. You had Hudson Card. Hudson Card was maybe 85% healthy-wise the entire time he just played, guys. He's hobbling around. If that kid did not earn your respect and you're over here like you shouldn't lose to Texas Tech at their Super Bowl at the last time you're going to play in Texas Tech, you're absolutely nuts if you thought you were going to go in there and roll that game. I thought we were going to lose that game. I was like, dude, there's a lot of stuff. Should we? No, we were up 14 in the fourth quarter. It is what it is. But it happened. Because why? That's what was supposed to happen in the universe. Like, have your people. Come on. Like, in some other timeline, we win that, right? Shout out the Flash and his timelines. But here, or Marvel, whatever. Doesn't matter. You could be 6-0 sitting in the top 5, if not number 2 in the country right now, with a beeline to the playoffs. I just saw an ESPN predictor for the college football playoff. Texas, with 2 losses, is sitting at 12%. Ole Miss is sitting at 10%, and they're undefeated. What? Come on. The brand and the fact that the entire country sees how good Quinn Ewers is, 4-2. Listen, 8-4 is still mine. I think we're going to have one more hiccup this year. I'm not going to lie to you. You got some tough games coming up. You got TCU. We'll talk. I think we're going to talk about that the rest of the way. But yeah, no, I'm 100%, man. I'm the expectation. I'm above it at the 4-2 halfway mark. I'm still in shock of how easy it looked for Quinn Ewers last week against Oklahoma. Now you're going to sit here and people are going to say, well, it was bad. It was a bad Oklahoma team. They're down. Right. But that could have been your backup quarterback instead of Hudson. Right. So the fact that you still could have lost the game, stuff could have happened. Now the coaching's pretty bad up there, and hopefully they re-sign Venables for another 10 years. I'm really hoping that happens. But like, push comes to shove, guys. Like Quinn, I said this on our show last night. He's so even keel and level headed. I'm like, are you having fun? Do you enjoy being out there and being alone? Like, you're so calm. I'm like, I'm over here walking, pacing in my room, like drinking a White Claw refresher, blackberry
refresher.
So good. They're so good. They're great on Saturdays, refreshing. They got a little lime, like sour kick.
We went from Flashpoint to Multiverse to White Claw refresher. This is why we got to get Mike Murphy on the show, guys.
What I bring to the table. We're diverse. I'm just telling you, that guy, he's so good. And the UT fan base, you need to open your eyes and appreciate what you have with Bijan, because you've only got him the rest of the year. You need to appreciate DeMarvion. You've only got him the rest of the year, and you're only going to have Quinn this year and next year. So instead of bitching, excuse my French, enjoy it. Enjoy the moments, enjoy the games, enjoy what you're seeing, and appreciate it. And understand, if you give Sark time, you're probably going to be the 2000s University of Texas Longhorns.
And that's the goal. That's the goal, to get back to that point and build it back to that point where you are intimidating people, right? Like at that point, you go into against an opponent, you don't drop games you're not supposed to lose, because even if you get down or you start slow, like we used to do back in the day. I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks. We would be down 21-0. You remember these games, and we would come back and drop 50 in the second half. Like, it was a certain mentality, it was a certain energy that we were conquerors at that point. And so I just feel as though you're right. We are building to that point. If Quinn continues to play, if he continues to throw the football and do the oh my God type of stuff in marriage with his cool, calm, collected demeanor, no big deal, he becomes a boogeyman. God. And he becomes a boogeyman for the people out here. People saw the Bama film. I mean, that's the most watched game in college football, right? People saw and like you said, with the OU stuff, and I broke this down as well from a football perspective. OU wasn't blowing coverages, guys. That stuff was well schemed by Sark and them. I've been saying this. They just call plays differently when Quinn is back there. They just
they have more confidence as well. They have more confidence as well.
Mm-hmm. They have full menu when he's out there, right? And his arm gives us access to the entire field. He can hit you wherever he wants. But one of the things I loved was but blown coverages are like one play, 80-yard touchdowns, or like we saw in Tech where they would lose Worthy and guys are miscommunicating. You did not see that from OU. They were playing their coverages. We were finding beaters. We were finding holes. We were solving problems real time. And he was doing it over and over and over again. Our longest play in that game was the screen pass to Roschon Johnson. That was our longest play from scrimmage on offense on Saturday. What happened was surgical, and that was surgical by a freshman quarterback. So from a Quinn standpoint, I completely agree. The Tech game to me was winnable from the coaching standpoint, because you have a lead like that late in the game. But that's also where I need them to learn. The coaches are learning too. They have to get better to understand, hey, guys, I got to get us out of that situation. I can't allow a team we got to step on their neck. And that's why Sark spoke on having killer instinct within the football program after that. That's a challenge.
Yeah. I'm going to cut in right here. I don't mean to cut in on you. I'm going to be that guy. And as much as no one wants to hear it, I don't know if anybody's been into wrestling, if they were in the WWF back in the day and they know about the Montreal screw job. These Texas screw job, I'm sorry, if you don't think it's real, it's real. So call a spade a spade. The Big 12 is pissed off that Texas and Oklahoma are leaving, and they're really pissed off that it's Texas. So if you don't think in your right mind that there's not conversations of, hey, like, F these guys, even if it's not like, hey, we want you to actually screw them over, it's definitely, they're hearing it all of, oh, F Texas. So subconsciously everybody's human. It's going to happen. Why was Jordan Whitington's catch not reviewed in the Texas Tech game? Right? You got a critical third down. And I will agree with you, though. Yes, they should have not gotten so conservative. But this is the difference between this year and last year, what you're saying about coaching. Sark is adjusting better than he did last year. Listen to what he said about OU. He literally looked in the mirror and was like, I need to do a better job coaching because last year I didn't realize I'd never been in this situation. Like, I've been to like neutral sites, but it's never been halfway and halfway down the middle. I've never experienced that. So I'm going to treat it as an away and home game. He adjusted. He adapted. That's what this coaching staff is doing. They're learning, they're adapting, and they're doing better too of making adjustments in game.
I'll give you a quick example being at the game that I noticed year over year, because I was at the game last year, same seat, where we're up 28-7 in the first quarter. And Sark makes the comment, Sark and Kyle Flood make the comment, we've been in the Iron Bowl. We understand tough college football environments. And I shook my head when they said it last year before the game. I'm like, this is different energy, brother. It's a different energy. And last year they came out of the tunnel like maniacs. Like just running, I'm glad my team is hype, but y'all look like wild savages, right? And they clearly were telling the kids to just jump on them, right? Jump on them. But this year we came out, we were turned, but it was measured. They came, and I'm a big body language guy, Mike. I'm a big body language guy. If you even look at the video of Quinn Ewers running out, how
amazing was that, by the way?
That shot was incredible.
The way he took it all in, but he's throwing up the horns. But even that video, he's so calm. He's not hyped like you're saying.
This game is a marathon. This game, we about to go to war for 3.5, 4 hours, right? We need our legs. I want y'all to be excited, but I also need y'all to be checked in up here mentally and understanding everything. And so the football IQ on this has improved tremendously.
Let me ask you this. When was the last time you had a quarterback at the University of Texas that you were like that video when he came out, he was like, I'm about to beat their ass. I'm going to beat this team. That's like, he had that confidence in you. Last quarterback you had that you watched at Texas that had that mentality of when you watch them walk out onto the field, you're like, dude, this guy is going to give us a chance to win every single time. Like you said, I don't care if we're down 21-0. They're going to turn it on. Who's the last quarterback?
It was Colt. It was Colt and
Colt, I don't even know if Colt had that. I'm thinking more Vince. That dominance and swagger. Colt, yeah, like I don't know if I had it with Colt.
Sam tried though. I will to be respectful to Sam Ehlinger. He didn't have the team, and he wasn't nearly the same type of talent Quinn is. But Sam, I mean, there was a lot of games where we would have got blown out if not for him just saying F it, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. He had some of that in him, but to your point of, and where I'm going again, him becoming a boogeyman, like Vince Young was a boogeyman.
100%. That's
right.
I'm literally sitting here like thinking what you're talking about. I'm like, yeah, it's straight boogeyman. You walk out, you're like, you didn't want to play Vince. You didn't want to play Vince.
And I've heard this from other guys that played against Vince Young in the Big 12. Guys from Oklahoma State, guys from Kansas State that I've been able to meet in life. And they're like, again, seeing him in person is different. It's one thing to watch film all week against somebody, but when you get on the field with them and you hit that person and you see that they're unfazed, or you look into their eyes, again, body language, these people become, it's a boogeyman effect. Now, Mike, before I want to get into just, is there anybody, pick one person, whether it's a coach or a player, that you just feel like they deserve credit or you've seen grow from them over these first 6 games, or just an appreciation? I know I'll go first. For me, I want to give flowers to Bo Davis. I know we have Iowa State coming up, but the way our defensive line is grading out, I challenged these guys last year. They didn't show up last year, quite frankly. And the production I'm getting this season from Tavondre Sweat, Keandre Coburn, Byron Murphy, who did show up last year, but Byron Murphy's gotten even better. Ojimo, when he's been healthy, has been fantastic. Vernon Broughton is giving us snaps. I mean,
Justice Finkley coming
along. I mean, Baron Sorrell's physical development. That whole defensive line, the way that they're grading right now, to be 4 of the top 5 graded defensive linemen in the Big 12, according to Pro Football Focus, I want to give flowers to Bo Davis, and I hope we're able to get him a game ball after Iowa State. Anybody for you that you want to touch on before we get into the backstretch of the schedule?
Two things. I just thought about this before we kind of transitioned, and I want everyone to think about where the program would be after I say this. What if Sam Ehlinger came back last year? What if he came back? And what if he had Sark? And what if you had those games that we lost, that dog mentality you just said that reminded me of Sam, that pushes you over the edge? He then graduates, and then you go to Quinn Ewers. I understand the universe works is what it is, right? We're in this timeline, and it is what it is. But just think about that. It really got me going when you started thinking about Sam. I'm like, man, what if he had come back and he had, instead of 6 games, you win in 9 or 10 games, and then you probably don't. I mean, maybe you beat Oklahoma that year, probably, because you don't have Casey Thompson, the Hudson Card, and going back forward. You probably go in there with his confidence, like you're saying, and beat Arkansas. So crazy to think of that. Back to your question. Mine is Jeff Banks on the coaching staff. First of all, that's a cool mofo. I don't know if anybody's ever got a chance to meet Jeff Banks. I got to meet him once. That dude is freaking cool. But what he's done in special teams and tight ends, okay, which translates to my player in JT Sanders. JT Sanders played defensive end and tight end in high school, and a lot of people know that, and they were questioning where they're going to put him. And a defensive coach like Charlie Strong would have put him on the defensive end because he wanted him to pass rush. Herman probably messes it up and puts him at left guard, to be bluntly honest with you. But
damn,
I mean, Tom Herman's the only person that gets 2 discounts at Kendra Scott. I said it. I'm leaning on it. I said it. If it's true, I have no idea. That was probably a unblatant statement, but whatever. Kyle Flood, and back to Jeff Banks. Jeff Banks special teams. He's got a new kicker who's making kicks. His punting, the first game, we have punting issues. He made an adjustment. We've got a new punter in there who's solid, by the way. You've got block punts.
Shout out to Machete.
You got block punts this year. You've got field goals. Other than a couple blemishes in the Alabama game, right? I mean, he's working that magic. And then the tight ends. JT Sanders, again, he would literally pull him aside last year during practice and work on fundamentals because he didn't know how to block at all. In high school, they would just throw him out there and be like, go win games. We're going to put you on the end. Everybody saw his one-handed catch up there.
He was basically a receiver at Denton Ryan. They did not ask him to do anything in line. And he's a full in-line tight end for us. It's not like even the stuff we did with Jermichael Finley, we flexed him half the time. Jatavian is lining up, and we are pulling him.
Kid's going to be a first-round pick. I'm calling it right now. Everybody's like, oh, UT and all these, you don't get any draft picks. It's coming. You guys better be ready because they're about to take over the league again. But him, and then just JT Sanders, man, the way that he plays, he's a humble kid. You see him walking around campus. He's super humble and quiet, but he's confident now, and he's building that up. He can catch, he can pass, he'll block. And then Jordan Whitington. That dude who's had so many injuries and would be rightfully so to be able to say, no, man, I want to be the number 1. I've been here forever. I'm a 5-star too, this and that. And that kid's like, F it. You need me to go block for go be Evan Stewart at A&M? I can do that. But guess what? I can also go and catch the ball. Kid is a leader. I'm just getting so passionate about this because, like, guys, it's changing right in front of your eyes. The entire program is on an uptick if you will just give time and wait and see and give the 3 or 4 years, no matter what happens the rest of the year. Just go with it. So those are my players. You could have said Bijan and Quinn, but I mean Rojo. That list, we could go all day. But
yeah,
also let's talk about this real quick as a honorary mention. Why am I blanking? Who's the left tackle? The freshman left tackle.
Kelvin Banks Jr.
Dude, are you kidding me?
He's going to be a freshman All-American.
Are you kidding me? That kid, did you see? I mean, everybody saw the Oklahoma game where Sark was like, I was impressed. I was happy that he actually got a little riled up. That kid shut down Will Anderson as a front. He's 18. What were you doing at 18? Exactly. Like,
one of the highest graded pass blocking tackles in the
entire offensive line. I'm impressed.
Kyle Flood's got those guys ahead of schedule.
And
the depth that's developing there is crazy too.
I'm legitimately excited. Just like we're sitting here talking, I'm like, I'm pumped for Saturday. I'm scared of that -17. I don't take. Here's the deal too, though. Other than Texas Tech, Texas has covered every game this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Iowa State's averaging 13.8 points allowed. I mean, their offense is boo-boo. It's terrible. Like they're averaging like 10 points, I think. But
I think that's why I actually still am going to have Texas covering this.
You're going to take them to score more than 17 points in Iowa State?
Yeah. They can do it because the thing is they just played Oklahoma's defense. It's the same type of, flyover, 3 safety type stuff.
But they know how to do it.
And Quinn just had to walk down the field. Now, what Heacock's going to do at Iowa State, their defensive coordinator, who's a guru of this and one of the founders of this defense, his will look different. His goal is going to be try to confuse Quinn, no doubt about it. But that's where our run game is really going to have to help out. And even last year, if you look at our game against them last year, they whooped our ass, but we missed shots. Like we still had shots available where we didn't execute basic plays or even big shots down the field where Worthy's still wide open. So
also Sark. Don't forget Sark, man. He's coming back with that. It's him versus that defensive coordinator too. He's pissed off about last year.
He was asked about that at Big 12 Media Day before the season, and people said, "Is that defense your kryptonite?" Straight up, he was asked that. So he's got some stuff brewing, all these personnel packages, jumbo. Because
I'm going to take the meme of Jordan being like, I took that personal, and I'm going to put Sark's face on that, and then I'm going to do that. Because, I 100% agree, dude. 100%.
And to be fair to, Iowa State they've lost 3 straight games. Granted, their defense has been incredible. The communication, Will McDonald's going for the Big 12 sack record on Saturday, overtaking Von Miller. There's a lot going on. However, they have not faced the type of personnel that we will be putting on the field on Saturday, and we're in DKR. Let's go whoop that ass. My thing is this. These last 6 games, I know we're all excited. And I've been with you. Trust the process. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy each game. We are building the foundations of what this program will be. We're just getting started. But when people start talking about, Texas Big 12 contenders, this is the toughest part of our schedule. Alabama was the best team we've seen, but week over week over week, there's no cupcakes. Unless there's some crazy injuries that start happening. TCU is good. Kansas is good. K-State is good. Iowa State has top 10 defense, right?
Baylor
and Baylor, we finished the year with Baylor, and we have to go to Oklahoma State the week after this.
You got to go to Kansas too, and you don't think they're not going to want some of you?
So at this point in time, we sit here. At this point in time, our best win is UTSA. We have 3 games on the road because we got a favorable home schedule this year, which I was excited about. But this last 6 games, we got to go to Kansas twice. We have to go to Oklahoma State. This team has to show me they can be consistent and play with the same energy on the road. We turned Dallas into a home game. Let's just say that, okay? Because them OU fans went and exchanged their coupons at the fair in the second quarter. But the rest of this season, there's some tests. How do they handle success? I think that's something that the coaching staff and everybody has to answer that question. Because if they've strung together 2 good weeks in a row. West Virginia was a good week to me. OU, obviously, we got over that mental block of just beating them and getting rid of them and stomping on the head. I got to see that week over week. That's my challenge for this back stretch of these 6 games. Mike Murphy, what say you?
I want to see. I completely agree. As my boy JP Enchilada, as we call him, would say, you hit the nail on the head with a hammer. That's his saying. I'm going to piggyback on that, right? And say, I want to see growth. I want to see, like you said, I want to see how we handle when we don't have 50,000 fans and half of an away game, right? When we've only got, can you silence the crowd and keep them silenced? Can you jump on them in the front? But then in the third quarter, as Sark is, which again, props, slow clap to Sark for knowing where the team and the coaching staff needs to get better. He's doing it in the third quarter. Let's score points in the third quarter, and then let's score a couple in the fourth. Then people are always like in the fourth, like, oh, well, you only scored 3 points. Well, we turned the ball over or we punted once, and then we only had the ball one other time, and then we had it at the end of the game. We're not going to run up the score. So, open your eyes. Kirk Bowles, looking at you. At the end of the day, though, seriously, I want to see growth. But understand this is still year 2, everybody. You need to understand that and temper expectations. We will go 4-2 in the next 6. Get to 8-4, get a maybe 9-3. Yes, I'd love to win out and go to the Big 12 championship. That's the goal. That's the goal, right? He wants to win a Big 12 championship. That's the goal.
Sarkis said that's the goal. Those are
it's not the playoff. It's not a New Year's 6 game. Get to the championship and have an opportunity to win it. That's where we want to get, right? Because every year it used to be Texas, Oklahoma, every single year. Right? Maybe Oklahoma State every once in a while. And then Baylor came along and cheated and did all their stuff and started winning. But have expectations. And if they lose, do not attack them. It's still year 2, guys. Yes, you can be frustrated if something happens, but it's football. Okay? It's football. It's winning's hard, quote, unquote. We all know what that's like.
Uh-oh. You said winning's hard on the channel, Mike. That's going to trigger some people.
It was not as bad as that one dude from Oklahoma saying JT Sanders wasn't going to be a problem. I watch your show. That guy, whatever his Drew, whatever.
Not you. He's Chris.
I'm Chris, whatever. Chris with a K. Chris with a K. That doesn't tell you shouldn't be listening to that guy. I'm sure he's a great dude, very nice, but your takes are garbage. Let's be real. I mean, it's cool to rally the fan base, but come on. Don't be Tattoo Baker or whatever the hell that guy's name is. Just open your eyes, be realistic. I think 4-2, man, that's what I want to see. I want to see you beat Iowa State. I want to see you beat Kansas because you should be pissed off that they came back and beat you. And then I want to see how we do against TCU at TCU, right? That's at home. TCU's at home.
TCU's at home. So we're at Oklahoma State and both Kansas.
Yeah, I want to see and Kansas State. I mean, that's not a slouch game. And we always play Kansas State down in Kansas State. The only benefit to us playing Iowa State is that we're not playing them on Halloween on a Friday or Saturday night.
Agreed.
So that's
on a Saturday morning.
See how the team does. And then you know what I want to see? I want to see how they respond Saturday. Do they come out and know that this team isn't very good, but their defense is really good, but their offense isn't? Do they come out and beat them by 17 points and really say all right, cool, we know we're that good? Or is it a hangover because you're so excited you beat Oklahoma finally and the mental block is gone and you come out and you stutter, right? It's what's it going to be? That's what I want to see.
Great point. And I think we can, start to wrap there. I mean, that's something where we just have to understand. And the thing is, don't let that bring you to the point where you can't win the football. There's no reason why they should not go out and win this football game. Whether or not you think they're going to cover, that's a whole nother thing. whether or not they're a little sluggish. Those are things that it's real life. They're college kids. Everybody's been gassing them up all week. But I would love it if they came out there and just were surgical with it after getting that praise, after getting that love, after getting that golden hat that Sark said he needed to have in his office. Like, these things are important in terms of like you said, the growth of guys. Also, we got people on here on the team that are playing for the league that have put out some really good tape in these first 6 games. Finish it and make your money. Guys out here that are in real, I think Jahdae Barron right now, if the season ended today, would be all Big 12 first team defense. There are people, finish it, right? We have guys that are going to receive accolades. Jatavian Sanders right now is going to be a finalist. If he continues to strike, he's going to be a finalist for the Mackey Award.
He's going to win the Mackey Award if he continues to play that way.
If he continues, I mean, he's on pace to have double-digit touchdowns.
Get Bijan's name into the Heisman. You know what I mean? Like,
that one will be tough for Bijan. Bijan's going to have to go ham the last 6 games. His numbers are good, but he's going to have to go ham the last 6 games.
The other thing, too, stay healthy. You know, knock on wood, stay healthy. Let's just keep – a healthy team's good because you always got a shot. So, I mean, you lost Bijan last year during the Kansas game. That's another reason why you probably lost the game, right? You lose your star players. So, I 100% agree. So, also, I want to say this. So, for all the people that watch your show and use your code and use your link to go, we're going to do this. Since you're my boy, Blue, you're my boy. Whatever score Texas wins by – the rest of the year is what that week's discount will be. Nice. So if it's 7, you're saying 17 or more, putting your money where your mouth is, I'm going to back you. So if they win by 7, they win by 30% off for the week every time you use the link Fanatic, right? That's what we're going to do. That's on everything. Polos, hats. There's no restriction. You don't even have, you could be an OU fan that just hates us. But you want to buy something, click the link, go there and buy it. You be a fan, you can be whatever. As long as they win that entire week until game day, we will change the discount weekly. It'll be our own little thing. Am I baiting myself to come back on? Maybe a little bit. I don't know. We're definitely going to do that.
I see it. Mike Murphy, spectacular debut on Fanatic Perspective, bringing the heat, bringing the energy, bringing the passion. This is an exciting time. We feel differently about the program, clearly, just with this conversation y'all just listened to. Like I said, it's free to show love. Hit the like button, subscribe. The links are below in the description as well as in the comment section. You just heard the proposal that Mike threw out to you guys. Take advantage. Texas got to win big so we can get –
We'll throw it on Last Stand Hats, baby. At Last Stand Hats on everything. We're going to promote it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Why not? And then for our BUSR family out there, hit up busr.com/fanatic.
What does that stand for? Betting under safe regulations? What does BUSR stand for? I was going to ask you that earlier. Is it betting under safe regulations? That's a solid website. Could you imagine?
I'm not going to answer that question on camera, but we can talk about it off air.
I can't wait to hear it. Follow the player when you see him in the street.
Hey, promo code sports 100 FP, 100% free play match on all initial deposits up to $1,000 within the first 24 hours. I know a lot of people use BSR when they were at the Cotton Bowl and saw me, and some of y'all won, I think, $500, $1,000 on your bets. My boy Brandon out there used the custom odds builder and moved it to Texas -20 and took those odds.
Lando out there just Lando.
Lando's crushing it.
Ballsy. That's ballsy. Did he do it after the first touchdown, or did he do it like at halftime?
No, my buddy did this. This guy did this like 2 days before he moved it to -20.
That guy's got some cojones.
Yeah, we have somebody else that put down a significant amount of money on TCU money line to beat OU before that happened. So some people out here on BSR are having some fun with it, and I appreciate the feedback there. Mike Murphy, Last Stand Hats, The Horn Report, sponsored by Horn Sports. Thank you for coming on the show, brother. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man. This was a lot of fun.
Guys, last thing, y'all know what it is. Horns always up.
But I'm telling you, like, he gotta slide. When he starts sliding in the pocket, and I'm telling you,